do you think Disney doing this to a card game, like, is it like bringing Disney's heavy hitting IP into a card game? Is Lorcana gonna be around for a while? Like, the thing I think a lot of people, I hear a lot of people are like into board games, they're like, but it's like a card game. Is it gonna be around? You know what I mean? It's new. Right. Like, are people? Where are you at, Rob, with it? Because I personally think it's going to be around for a minute. This thing is going to be played for a while.
I mean, it has a way better shot than most other, like, yeah, card games seem to have this either lifespan of it is a Magic or a Pokemon, or I think One Piece is a pretty long lasting one now, where it's just got years onto its life, and then others will come out and they'll start strong, and then like a year later they just sort of fizzle. And like, a lot of it, I think, has to do with the game itself more than the IP. I think Disney's IP definitely helps it, because especially in terms of sales, you're going to have Disney collectors who have no interest in the card game, who want to go and just buy and collect. So that'll support it a bit. But it really depends on, like, how is the game balanced? Is it fun to play? A big discussion topic that came up is, you know, when the game first came out, it was actually very hard to get cards. And so one thing,
the scalpers galore. They just went. Yeah. They were following the trucks, like, from target to target. Yeah, you couldn't get cards.
It was ridiculous, and it was also partly, I think Ravensburger did not assume that it was going to be as big as it was, and they're not a typical card game company. This is their first trading card game. But one way
so they were conservative with inventory.
Pretty much, yeah. And there were times where you just couldn't get anything, and so what you did was you played on a sort of digital bootleg version of the game where people pulled the art off the internet and a developer made it. It was called Pixelborn, and you could play for free. And so it
was essentially the World of Warcraft card game. I don't know if you ever got into that on your phone, Nathan. Hearthstone. But it was essentially, they just took Hearthstone and they just like bootlegged it into a Lorcana game. It was incredible. I remember I met one of the creators of Lorcana at a toy fair, and I was like, bro, what's going up with this pixel board? He's like, I can't talk about that.
And would you believe it that Disney, of all people, Disney, let it go on for like almost a year without.
I think they kind of knew. They kind of knew that it ultimately was more helpful than harmful in getting people into the game.
Yep.
There is that pirate thing where, like, they did research and they found out that people who pirate movies go see more movies. They do more entertainment. They spend more money in entertainment than you think. And so I think it's kind of that a little bit, So
especially at a time where you couldn't go out and buy a pack of cards because they were all sold out everywhere.
Right.
That was the only way to play. But now that is down, because Disney did finally do something about it, there's talk of like, well, is this going to kill the game, or is this going to hurt the game? Because, for us, like, I'm in Orlando. This is a company town. I go to the store every week, and there are plenty of people playing. But I can imagine, somewhere in Ohio, there might not be as many people playing. And then that is going to determine whether this thing's around for years or not.
Well, yeah, and I thought the same thing as you. I was like, oh, I'm Disney Dan. I'm down here in Orlando with freaking Robplays. Of course, he has found a community, and I go to some of Rob's Lorcana tournaments, and I was like, of course, Rob has found, a home here with this game full of in the Disney town. But then I came up back to Pennsylvania, and I found my local card shop, and I went in there, and they had stacks of stuff. Not like they were not selling, like they were selling a lot of stuff. They were, and they're like, yeah, you got to come on Thursday. It's like $10 to enter, and there's like 60 people who play out back. Nice. I was like, what? And like, yeah, and like every other weekend we do like big tournaments with buy-ins. I was like, wow, and it's very active. Like, they have an extra night of Lorcana now that it just started one night, so it's growing.
Yeah.
So I see it really taking hold because of just, if you are a Magic the Gathering dad, if you are a Pokemon, because we're millennials now, there are fathers out there who salivated over a hollow Charizard, who laid seed in a woman and now have children. You know what I mean? And so if you are one of those people and you want to get your kids into Pokemon, and they're like, Dad, I don't care about Pokemon, I like Bluey and Descendants or whatever your kids are into, this is like, okay, yeah, but I know you like Encanto and Anna and Elsa and Belle, and so it's an incredible, like, what do they call when, like, in the DARE program, like when they're like, don't do drugs, kids, because these drugs will help you transfer to other drugs.
Yeah.
Gateway. Lorcana is like a great gateway drug to card games if you are that kind of board game nerd who has offspring, because they're out there. I'm surrounded by them. I got lots of friends. I have friends listening to the podcast right now. They're like, God damn it, Dan, are you talking about me?